Let's open up the studio. I've been kind of lazy when it comes to setting this thing up and breaking it down, and I've just been leaving it set up um, like this, like you saw it when the half set up. I've been leaving it like the half set up because it's a little bit easier. You just come out and get into it. But the thing is, it's protected. But the thing is, my sprinklers turn on automatically, and I need to change the schedule so that way they're not doing that, and I can keep my setup out here and leave it to be so that way everything doesn't get water damaged. As of right now, that's what's happening. So out here we have 3 canvases on the table. 3 canvases on the table that we're working on, which, I mean, they're really in the early stages of process. Early stages. This has like maybe 2 layers. Not nearly enough. So, and then this is one that I've been working on it's one of the ones I'm going back to cover, going back to put the stuff on. But it too needs a lot of love because there's just a lot to do to it. So I'm going to be working on that today. What I really wanted to include in this update of the Frontier Studio is what I really wanted to include in one of the updates for this week is about this painting. I'm bringing it back out to the studio. I took it inside, let it live in the house for a little bit. I even put it on the wall, but ultimately the fabric still has too much flexibility to where it's taking on too many nuances of its environment in there. So ultimately, what I'm going to do is put another layer, probably, or two, or kind of keep it going. Get it to a surface that kind of starts to hide some of the unwanted blemishes that are in there. I don't want to lose the shapes that I added necessarily, but at the same time, I don't want to be too attached to them. So these are about surface and hue. So getting the surface to do what the hue tends to do, and them both being just on the superior level of what a painting is. I also have this one that I brought back out. This is one of the first ones that I brought out when I started to do these little updates. So it is the flower one. It lived as a yellow painting, yellowish green, where I was really paying attention to the light. It was purely aesthetic for its like value of being flowers, but I was really just trying to get some really stark contrast to the light. I've painted all that out, so we have nothing but white hues now, and obviously some of the roses are still having their color, which I've retained, and I think I'm gonna keep it this way. I am gonna keep it this way for now. Um, every time I say that, though, I change it though. So next time you see it, next time I post it, by the time I do post it on like social media and stuff, it might look a little different. I gotta photograph it to where you can kind of see the surface quality and some of the brush strokes and just the little nuances of where I kind of mimicked brush strokes I did before. So that way, that one reads well. I like the back of it too. I like it when you end up with 2 paintings in one. Ooh, can you see that? I like the back. You end up with 2 paintings in one. one that develops a little bit more naturally. I'll show more of my older stuff where that happened. You know, on a few occasions when I was in grad school and before and since. Um, I often go back to that period of time because I think that's when I was most prolific and just really putting out a lot of, you know, just a lot of work. So I would wake up pretty early and go and do my studio classes at PAFA, and then pretty much for the rest of the day I'd spend it in my studio that was located on Broad Street, downtown Philly. Um, the museum was right next door, so if it wasn't a day where I felt like painting, like really being active, I could just go and kind of like look at what a lot of old masters were doing when it came to like figurative type of art, because Pennsylvania Academy of Fine Arts kind of historical in that tradition of doing artwork that feature the figure and portraits and things like that. Before I attended the school, I was doing a lot of abstract stuff, so I kind of wanted to go and just mix it up and see what a school like that would do for me. So that's ultimately what I did. All right, I'm gonna get into it. Um, the subtleties of shape that start to be visible. Come on, man. Thank you again for checking out another one of my videos. I'm going to continue to stay in the studio and keep making work, so I'll try to remember to keep bringing my camera out and microphone and, just documenting for anybody that maybe wants to chase this process themselves. Remember to just keep on painting. Thanks for watching.